ABC News contributor Dr. John Brownstein. Good to see you, John. Let's start with the FDA looking to get this second booster shot approved. People 50 and over will be allowed to seek, in some situations, a fourth dose, actually. At this point, why not just call it an annual shot?
Well, yeah, good afternoon, Kira. I understand, we're seeing these shots roll out over and over again, but we're still not quite at this sort of annual epidemic. We're still seeing these surges 2 to 3 months out. And so there's still a lot of question about immunity and new variants. That uncertainty means that we still don't quite know the frequency of these shots. The fourth shot in Israel actually performed incredibly well. And this is why regulators are considering at least giving this optional fourth shot. But we're still dealing with incomplete information. We don't know if we're going to have a big surge this spring, summer, fall, but it's getting ahead of that, getting people the option to get that fourth shot. I understand it could create, shot fatigue, and we're still trying to get other people that booster. So this is an important hedge, but ultimately, I think we end up looking like a flu season, getting that annual shot, but we're just not quite there yet.
All right, we are now more than 2 years into this pandemic. I cannot even believe how fast this has gone. Spain, once the world's pandemic epicenter, right? Now planning to treat a coronavirus infection like a normal illness, similar to the flu. So what do you make of that move? And should the U.S. be looking at this virus differently?
Well, I think we need to evolve our thinking, of course. As we get more people immunized, as we learn more, we need to think about it differently. But if you look at Europe, they are dealing with a BA2 surge. In fact, in Spain, they are seeing increases not only in cases, but also deaths. So they're not at the other side of this pandemic, and neither are we. Here in the US, we're still dealing with hundreds of people dying every day. I understand many people have moved on. And of course, we're removing masks, we're changing the way we live. But again, we're not quite there yet. We're seeing that BA2 variant. It's emerging. We're seeing many states with increasing cases. We will have a wave in the next couple of weeks. How bad that is still sort of to be determined. So we're not quite there yet. I think, again, we're eventually heading to that place, and we still need to consider how we live with this virus, but we still have these new variants that we have to contend with.
And also China, we've been monitoring that country, seems to be taking a different approach as well, placing its largest city, Shanghai, on lockdown now. Do you think this is the right move? And what more have we learned about the science of COVID and how this virus just continues to spread?
This is a challenging one. In China, they're applying these lockdowns, which is an extreme approach. I think you can only apply them in specific contexts. In China, they've had a challenge in terms of getting everyone that they possibly can, especially in the older age group, boosted. So they have a challenge of underlying vulnerability of their population. They also have a specific vaccine, Sinovac, that is not necessarily as good as the vaccines we've had. So context is everything. We know that lockdowns in very specific ways have worked to drive cases down, but of course, at the expense of the economy. And so I don't think we will ever see that here again. I think we know what it takes in terms of vaccines, masking, ventilation. We're well beyond that. But other parts of the globe that have tried to practice the zero COVID strategy, I think they still have to contend with the fact that a new variant can bring a huge amount of hospitalizations and deaths. And that's what they're dealing with now. So no geographic context is the same. Different mitigation efforts are needed, but I still think we're in a pretty good spot heading into this spring and summer.
Pretty good spot. But John, it looks like we're going to be living with this for a while, right?
Yes.
I mean, this is just something that's not going to go away, correct?
Yeah, it's not going away, unfortunately. The idea is that we hope that we will be able to manage this in a way that we manage flu seasons. But again, we have, a bad COVID season every 2 to 3 months. That is a huge strain on our health systems. And that's what we're concerned about right now, is how do we get to a place where we're not dealing with these surges, because our health systems were never built for this. So yes, we need to learn how to deal with it. Of course, it's all about getting immunized, boosted, and I guess now at this point, a potentially second booster.
All right, John Brownstein, thank you so much.
Thanks, Kara.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.